And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. Are you ready for some football? Well, we've got football right here in San Bernardino this spring with the San Bernardino Spartans of the National Public Safety Football League. And so far, so good for San Bernardino. 2-0 to start the season, starting with the first game of the year at home at San Bernardino Valley College. The Spartans beating the Orlando Guardians 34-9, the final score. And then this past weekend, they went into Las Vegas, taking on the Orange County Lawmen. Guess what? A shutout for San Bernardino. 34-0, the final score. So 2-0 to start the season. San Bernardino will be back home at SBVC on April 23rd as they will take on the Los Angeles Grizzlies. So this team is made up of sheriff's deputies, police, fire, any first responders, EMT of the National Public Safety Football League, and a lot of familiar faces on this team as well. Former University of Redlands quarterback Kevin Russell is on this team. Mike Ewan of Colton High School, who you're going to hear from in a moment. So a lot of local guys who played high school or college football right here locally, now playing for the San Bernardino Spartans. Here's more. And now join us here on Sports Weekly. We're talking to the San Bernardino Spartans, National Public Safety Football League participants. And these guys started off the season with a big win on their home field at San Bernardino Valley College. So congrats to the Spartans. Joining us on the show, a couple of the key players in that win. And we're going to start with, well, he's the pride of Colton High School. He's a Yellow Jacket. It's Mike Ewan. And Mike, first off, hey, congrats on getting your first win of the season. What was it like to get out there with the shoulder pads and the helmet? And get it cracking out there. It's live football, tackle football.
Hey, Pep, thanks for having us first and foremost.
Yes, sir.
It was great. I've been playing since Colton High School. What was that, like 2002, 2006, and nonstop since then. Jumped on a couple semi-pro teams and did the Enforcers football team for about 8 years. And then we jumped on and started this Spartans football team in 2018. So it's been nonstop. The body's definitely taking a toll now. At 33. I love it though. We've got a great squad. I was on the fence about coming back this year, just because, like I said, the body's starting to break down. But we got a great squad, and seeing these guys put in all that hard work and all that motivation and all that self-drive that they have is definitely something that pushed me to throw those shoulder pads on, hopefully one last time. Well, it is going to be one last time, but yeah, hopefully it'll be the last one.
Mike, you're still a young guy, man. There's guys in the NFL your age still playing right now.
Yeah, well, I got two little ones right here. I got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and that with work and running the administrative part of the team, it does take a toll. So I told the wife, I said, hey, this is going to be the last year. I'm going to leave it all on the field, and we're going to go. For me, it's championship or bust. And then after that, I'm going to give everything to the guys on the administrative standpoint moving forward.
Mike, how fun is it just to get out there and, like you said, still play football again while your body's holding up and enjoying the sport that you grew up with, but also, being in law enforcement, being national public, part of the National Public Safety Football League. We love football, but the added component of, the first responders, I think it's a cool deal. I wasn't aware of it until this season, and I wish I would have jumped on board a long time ago. But how did you first, find the team, and how did you guys, first connect and get a local team going here?
Well, yeah, football's given me so much. It's gotten me through a lot of difficult times, a lot of hard times, rough times. I've met a lot of good people through the different football teams that I played on, and was able to build some good relationships and get into law enforcement through that. So I want to give one shout out to Brian Olvera. He's over in Elko PD now. He's the guy that I met when we were playing on the Inland Empire Enforcers, and he got me in over at San Marino PD. Towards the tail end of the Enforcers, we started coming up with the idea of, hey, let's join the National Public Safety Football League. Our team at that time was playing all these teams in that league already. The only thing is we weren't in the league. So we had to jump through all the hoops and check all the boxes in order to join the league. And sorry about that.
We're a family show. It's all good.
So we had to check all the boxes, join the league. And the best thing about it is, yeah, you hit it on the nose as far as playing football and representing your agency. One of the things I tell the guys when they come out is I tell them that, hey, we're a nonprofit organization, and we fundraise first and we play football second. Our mission is to use the game of football to create fundraisers, create events to generate these funds so that we can give it back to our fallen officers, our public safety officials, or God forbid, the families of the fallen. Mm-hmm. And we are able to do that in the game of football that we all love.
No, that's awesome. And that's the aspect, the angle that I love about this team and this league, this organization that you guys all play for. Mike, what did you guys do well in that first win? You had, I think it was Orlando, right? They come all the way across the country, and you guys beat them up pretty good out there at SBVC. What did you guys do in that first game? Do well in that first game of the year?
Well, respect to Orlando. Those guys are some hard hitters, and they never gave up. I know that scoreboard said something, but those guys were a class act team, and they did a great job. But what we did well is those two guys that you're looking at right there, Kevin and Chris. They went off, man. Those guys, they've been working their butts off since January when we started hitting the field. And I knew that these guys were something special. But everybody played hard. They played as a team, as a unit. And one of the most difficult things as far as this whole organization and running it is the scheduling, right? Everybody has their different schedules. Some guys have to come in from graveyard shift, or they have to bounce out of there and go straight to shift, go to briefing right after that. So we appreciate everybody's time, their effort, their sacrifice to be part of the organization. But all these guys, they don't take it lightly. They put in a lot of work on their own time. And when they come to practice, we have 3 hours, sometimes 3.5 hours, and they make it count. I'll tell you what, these guys make it count. And these guys are all enthusiastic. Everybody on the team's enthusiastic. Everybody wants to win, which is great. But at the end of the day, they know what we're about. And, I can see it in their eyes. I've told them at practice, I go, man, I can see it in your guys. You guys really are something special. It's one of the better teams I've played on in a long time.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Mike. You mentioned him. I'm going to jump to your quarterback now, Kevin Russell, former University of Redlands QB. And Kevin, Mike talked about, extending your football playing career and getting a chance to put on, the pads and the helmet again, and again, doing it for such a great cause. Did you ever think, Kevin, that you'd still be playing football right now?
It's been a blessing. Anytime you get a chance to be on the field again is awesome. Mike and several other guys reached out to me and let me know about the potential. And, there's always that little bit of doubt, after it's been some years since you've, actually truly, thrown a ball with purpose and evaded guys that are trying to come after you with some ferocity. But no, it's been great. I'm very thankful for the opportunity, thankful for all the guys who have supported me. I go out there and give it my best, and obviously not the quarterback that I once was, but it's fun to get out there and compete. I think that's what's mainly the best part about it. You're competing and you're doing things for a great cause, and you got guys out there that have your back, and they're all in it for the same mission. So we have a great support system, from guys on the team to their families to admin staff. It's awesome to be out there and experience that competition again.
So Kevin, as a quarterback, were you pleasantly surprised how good the offense looked?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, we go through practice, and like Mike was saying, it's tough to get all the guys there. And so we didn't really know what kind of product we were fully going to be able to put together on the field for our first game last week. But it came together well. We were shockingly well-oiled. I feel like the athletes that we have, we meshed very well together. Timing that, you'd normally establish throughout an entire, fall camp was there with guys like Robinson and Daryl. So, I mean, again, it was cool. It was very good to see an offense that clicked it early on, and we competed, I felt like, at a high level. So that was good to see.
And Kevin, are you a San Bernardino County deputy? What's your current position right now?
Yeah. I'm a deputy sheriff assigned to the Victor Valley station. Mm-hmm. So right now I'm patrolling the city of Adelanto. It's been awesome. I've been on patrol now for about a year. I did about 6 months in the jail. So yeah, it's great. I love working for San Bernardino County. It's awesome guys, but then again, you meet guys, that are outside of the agencies, and we're all, all in it together, all same kind of mindset. And it's been great being exposed to this career and the people involved. So,
Kevin, did you play any football after the U of R?
Yeah. So, I got an invite out to Arizona. I was in Arizona, with the Cardinals for about a month, and sort of like a rookie mini camp, if you will. And then, After that, I was essentially, thanks for your time type deal. And then I went to Australia and I played in the Gridiron Victoria Football League for a year. Went out there, we won a championship, won MVP, the whole deal. So that was kind of cool to experience some overseas ball. And then when I got back to the States, I trained down in San Diego at the California Sports Institute, and through that was able to get a couple of CFL, Canadian Football League opportunities. And then things went as they did. I was released from Montreal once Johnny Manziel had ended up signing, and then found myself in the Arena League on a couple of teams. So for about two seasons with Arena League. So that's kind of where I finished when I was right before I started this, career. So it's been a couple of years since I was able to actually suit up and compete on a field. But I've found myself missing the game quite a bit.
So you were still playing at a high level not too long ago, though.
Not too long ago, like I said. Yeah, I think my last season was 2019. I finished with the Tri-City Fire Arena team in Washington State. Even I feel like going without a week without training with a purpose, you lose so much. But so it was a couple of years since I'd actually thrown a ball at a competitive level. But again, the guys on the team make it easy to do my job well, and I'm just thankful for the chance to be out there and feel it again.
Well, speaking of the guys on your team making your job a little bit easier, let's talk to Chris Robinson as well. Chris, Arizona State guy, Beaumont guy. Chris, what was it like at that first game out? Like I asked Kevin, were you pleasantly surprised how well the team was playing offensively and just as a whole in that first game against Orlando?
Yeah, I think all the guys did a great job. Like Kevin said, we couldn't get everybody there at once because we have jobs and stuff like that. But when everything came together, it came together beautifully. The offensive line gave him all the time in the world, let us get down the field. But yeah, it was a pleasant surprise to see how well we did.
Chris, what kind of goals do you think this team has this season? Because I know there is like a championship, right? Like, would you want to go undefeated, get to that championship game? Like, what's some of the goals that you have?
Oh yeah, definitely win the championship. That's all we talk about. Obviously take it one game at a time, but we got our eyes on the prize, and we're going out there with the purpose to every week to make it happen.
Well, and like I asked kind of like Kevin, what was that gap between your last, we'll say, competitive football game? I don't know if it was college or something beyond that, but how many years in between, playing on a real football team to playing on, for the Spartans here?
It's been about 3 years, a little over 3 years. So it's been a while. So it was a little nerve-wracking to get back out there, see if I can still get out there and do my thing. But it was good. It was good to be back and just to be playing football alone. It was awesome. But to be on a team that's as good as our team and just meshed so well, it made it even better.
Is it like riding a bike when you got out there? It was like, okay, yeah, I remember how to do this.
Exactly like that. Yep, it clicked just like that. We're right back. So,
well, Chris, in high school or college, you're seeing your teammates and your coaches and everybody like every single day, and you have practice and you're in the weight room together. But I imagine for this, you guys get together and practice like once a week, and then you're supposed to try to gel and click and make it work. When the whistle blows for that first game. So, I mean, I know you guys got the big win. You guys look great, but do you feel like, hey, we can still get a lot better going forward throughout the season?
Oh yeah, I think we're barely scratching the surface for sure. I think we have a good mix of guys who've been on the team for a while and new guys. So I think that's what's making us gel together so quickly. But guys who've been there, showing us the ropes, and the new guys, we all know each other because we're all law enforcement. So I think it just makes it a real cohesive bond that we all have, and this is just the beginning.
So Chris, what's your current position right now? Are you also a sheriff's deputy?
I'm a police officer for Rialto Police Department.
Oh, very good.
So I've been on patrol for about 2 years now.
So what's it like when all these different agencies come together? I mean, is there any competition between like, well, I'm police and you're sheriff and maybe you're a firefighter or EMT or something like that? Is there any friendly competition within the team?
I wouldn't say within the team. I think, we all feel that we represent San Bernardino County, but obviously when we play LA County, Orange County, there's going to be a little, we're going to see who the best county is. So we all go out there ready to make it happen and compete.
Well, Chris, I know you guys have at least one more home game, I know, on the schedule coming up in a couple weeks out there at SBVC. What would you say to some local football fans to maybe encourage them to come out, not only see some great football, but again, the cause behind it, right? You know, what you guys are doing to give back to our local community. You get good football, and you're going to be giving back to something that's so meaningful. What would you say to the football fans out there?
Yeah, I would just say, it's a great time. It's competitive football. You'd be surprised. We get out there and we get after it. There's guys who have played in the NFL, who've played all types of different experience, who go out there and are playing. And obviously we're a nonprofit, and it all goes back to help, officers, families who need it, who dealt with tragedy, who are going through stuff. So all those proceeds go to a good cause, and you get to go watch good football. Doesn't get any better than that.
No, it's a good excuse to go watch football. I could watch football all year round. But this is a great excuse and a great cause to get out there and check out the San Bernardino Spartans of the National Public Safety Football League. Chris, Kevin, Mike, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I will be out there at your next home game. I believe it's April 23rd, a Saturday afternoon out there at SBVC. So, guys, congrats on the win. Best of luck the rest of the season. And we'll see you out there on April 23rd.
Thanks for having us, Pep.
Thank you so much, Pep.
All right, so that was our interview with the San Bernardino Spartans of the National Public Safety Football League. My name is Pep Fernandez. Subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. And that'll do it for this episode of Sports Weekly. We'll see you next time on IEMG.